There's definitely failing No Nut November. We know you horny. Bro, we're talking about fruit, Tommy. Tommy! This is a fruit thread. Why are we talking about No Nut November and horny?
Hello everybody, it is your boy CJYonder back at it again with another video slash banger. Bang! Welcome back everybody, it is your boy CJYonder and I am here to give you actually a more positive video than negative. Obviously you see my entire channel and it is more on the negative side. I want to give you guys a piece of the positive side. Be the yin and yang, be positive and negative. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. But before I do that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment what you liked about the video or some criticisms. I take all and any criticism as long as it is constructive. Also, join the Discord. It is kind of dead, but the more people we get in it, the more it gets popping, and I love when it's popping. I try to stream the best I can, so I definitely have those notifications on, the little bell, just so you can get the stream updates and new video updates just in general. And anyways, let's get into the video. So if you didn't read the title or see the thumbnail, then you would not know who this is about. But this is about actually someone that I used to watch when I was very, very younger. This is about DatruthDT. Now, obviously, like I said, this isn't a negative video. This is a video actually talking about the fact that how he's actually good for the Dragon Ball community instead of bad. Let me explain why. But first, before I explain why, let me explain who he is and where he comes from. Truth started his channel back on April 23rd, 2012. And he started off not with Dragon Ball content, actually. He started off with, surprisingly enough, Final Fantasy. Showing mod showcases, doing walkthroughs, this and that. You know, he actually gained not the biggest fan base, but a decent amount. 77k, 16k, 12k, and then something sparked. That thing being Dragon Ball Legendary Super Warriors. Another game that he saw which sparked his interest for Dragon Ball content. Obviously, we're going to get to when he gets to Dokkan, but this kind of lays the ground for Dokkan. He makes Dragon Ball content with the Legendary Super Warriors walkthroughs with 88k, 17k, 14k. So it kind of gets up there. He goes Resident Evil, he gets back to the Dragon Ball stuff, and this and that. In the 2014 Dragon Ball Dokkan releases on the English version. Now, if I am not wrong, True started on the English version and then switched to JP. He originally started as kind of like a small Dragon Ball Dokkan creator, but people loved his content so much, the fact that he got up in views. And now, we actually know him as who he is now, with the 437,000 subscriber total, 17k views, and just pumping out those Dokkan videos left and right, dun 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 dun. My opinion, while we do have people like Nano and Diddy Sauce, which is so crazy name to me, and Goresh and that kind of stuff, I feel like when you need to find something on Dokkan, or hell, he makes Genshin content as well. He makes some football content sometimes, but I feel like he excels in Dokkan. Everybody thinks he excels in Dokkan. Truth is the guy, and while people get mouthy with him on Twitter, I feel like he knows what he's talking about mainly. Well, yes, I am also a veteran player of the game, since I was playing since I was like a little kid when it first came out because of my dad's phone. I didn't actually get a full thinking brain while playing the game until the 5th anniversary, I want to say, which is actually how far my account is. Speaking of Dokkan and gaming, do you guys like gaming content from the Yonder? Obviously, I haven't posted any gaming content in a while on this account because that's not what this account is for. But if you do, go and watch Yonder Plays. I will try my best to start posting on there more since it is my second account. And I love gaming. I will just have fun videos, gaming stuff on there, and I will actually start doing some Dokkan content once the 11th anniversary comes out. So, stay tuned for that. But anyways, let's get back to the main video. So, Truth initially got his views from Dokkan. He got bigger views, and he just became more of like, not a content farm, because when you think of content farm, you think of ebulance. I'm talking about the fact that he is able to be a great news source for the game. He will try out characters, go into the hardest spots of the game, and actually show if the character is good or not, his passive, their entire game mechanic. If you need somebody to ease you into Dokkan, I would definitely say that'd be more of someone like, I would say Goresh. Goresh would definitely gives you more, or Goresh or Toonami, or Toonrami, or whatever his name is. I would say that they are more of a ease you in to the game. But if you want to know the newest thing about the characters, oh, Daima Super Saiyan 4 Adult Goku came out. Well, let me know about his kit. But I don't want to go do all that reading. Well, you look at Truth's channel and that shit's already been out for like 2 days. And you go and you watch the video, he explains it all in depth, he explains why it's good, why it's bad, all that kind of stuff. He is basically presenting you each character when they come out. The easy A's, the free-to-plays, the pay-to-plays, all that kind of mumbo-jumbo. And I feel like, me personally, I love that. I think that is way good for the community. Mainly because I have always talked about native people in the community. I talked about Xeno Coffee, who just complains about his games all the time. I've seen stuff from slow plays, who mainly just clickbait, but it still gets really annoying. I've seen stuff from Self Foreskin, which we don't want to talk about him. But Truth, I feel like, is that middle part. He doesn't complain about Dokkan, he gives it criticism. When, yes, he obviously says, oh, well, I don't like this about Dokkan, I don't like this about Dokkan, this, that, and the third. When you think about what Truth is saying, it's not more of and more like actually trying to be informative, giving context and more advice to the people who make the game. Now, obviously, we don't even know if they watch the videos. We think so, but we don't know. Right? We don't know if the people who make Dokkan actually watch the videos. I'm not doing them. But if they were to, they would learn a lot because Truth knows. He's been speaking about the friend system for a long time. He's been speaking about multiple systems in the game for a long time. He didn't like the Whis event. The Whis event is getting buffed. He didn't like the friend system. The friend system got fixed. I'm not saying that they're connected, but it definitely feels like they do listen to Truth, and if they don't, they should, right? Because Truth is a smart guy. He makes tier lists, for God's sakes, and the tier lists show up as the real thing. If he puts Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta at the top when they first come out, well, then they're the top when they first come out. You know what I mean? Like, I think when he first came out, the Super Saiyan 4 Blue Gogeta, the one that came out for What Do I Download last year, he put him at 1. When you play the character, he's 1. He doesn't need to be on different teams. He will just be right where he needs to be. And I feel like that Truth shows that perfectly. Wonderfully, actually. And like I said, there's more people who do that, but I feel like if you want information, Truth is your guy. If you want a fun time, Diddy and Nano and I think Slavix is what his name is, that's your guy. Goresh, Toonrami or whatever his name is, and Truth are going to be your informable guys. You need knowledge, go to them. But I feel like if you want the most information, you want Truth. Because I feel like Truth gives you his opinion and the facts. And his opinion, as one of the biggest Dragon Ball Dokkan creators out there, is more valuable than anyone else ever. Or not anyone else, but you know what I mean when I say, like, when a very influential, important person in that community gives their opinion versus someone who just plays the game for fun, you see there's two different sides. One's gonna have a more important word than the other, right? Well, so I do apologize if I sound very weird in this. I'm sick right now. It's very cold out here, but I'll get better soon. Don't worry. But I do feel like, right? I do feel like Truth has some issues. The only issue I can really point out was the fact that when I made the FSDB and Kishin Pain video, I found the Truth still follows FSDB when that situation was still getting big, because she makes very suggestive content. But that's more, I'm most likely sure Truth doesn't pay attention to who he's following. Pretty sure he's following a lot of people. I'm pretty sure a lot of people following him. So I'm not gonna be like, Truth, how dare you? You are following a bad person, when he doesn't even know. And that was my main point in the video, is like, don't get on him for following a bad person. He doesn't know, probably. unless he comes out and says, hey guys, I know that they're a bad person and I'm still going to keep following them, then you start go, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if you don't, if he doesn't know, fuck, he doesn't know. Don't get on him for that. That's not his fault. It's really, he's the big creator. He makes a lot of money. He's busy doing other shit. He doesn't have to pay attention to his Twitter followers. That's like saying, getting on to me for being friends with somebody who I didn't know was a bad person and then turned out to be a bad person while I'm in the middle of making a video. I'm not going to know that information until the video's done. Don't get on me for it. So why would you get on Truth? Exactly. All in all, I do feel like Truth is one of the more influential Dragon Ball gaming creators out there, mainly because he actually gives his information, he gives it well, and he's still having fun at the exact same time. He'll say he doesn't like the game, but he's having so much fun. Versus someone, like I said, Xenocoffee, who all he does is just complain about the game. Anyways, that is the end from me, a Yonder. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. And actually, the last thing I want to end off with the Q&A question, since we just hit 1K, and that's what we're starting off with. Q&A. What do you guys want to hear from me? Put your question in the comments below, plus another video I'll actually make for the actual Q&A questions. Put them in below, and below that video, and below the YouTube short, and below the post or whatever you want to do, perfectly fine, and then I'll stream sometime actually answering those questions. Thank you guys for watching. I am CJYonder, your host. See us out, bingle out, bing, ding, ding. Peace.
Send the drones in, all the maneuvers, feeling confident, I don't need a strap back, I let God fight my battles.
Hey, strap with a track, let it down with it, yeah.
Next time you text, can it wait?